Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about Pokémon Sleep again. No, there is still no dark mode, and it is still mostly bright blue and bright white. Check out this video to hear the details about that. Maybe one day the Sleep app will do what Google Maps does and flip the UI in the dark. For this video, I will be reporting the results of a secret mini-experiment I've been holding. Pokémon Sleep, UI aside, generally tries to encourage proper sleeping habits. It uses a lot of positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement to encourage consistent bedtimes and sleep habits. It also has little tips and tools to attempt to educate and assist players. One of these features is something that the game calls relaxing sounds. It's a loop of music meant to act as a sleep aid. Plenty of people struggle to sleep in total silence. Other people have undesirable noise that they drown out with music or pleasant white noise. There's a whole section of YouTube dedicated to making 8 to 12 hours of nighttime nature noises or calming music. Frogs, rain, crickets, rustling leaves, campfire crackles, lo-fi music, classical music, ethereal music, anything that could help you sleep. They even make versions to drown out the sounds of storms or traffic for your pets. It works for so many people that it's absolutely excellent that Pokémon Sleep chose to implement a function like that. For the experiment, I will attempt to sleep for an entire night using each relaxing sound. The hope is that I can compare my initial impression of the relaxing sound awake to how it actually performs on me falling asleep and staying asleep. Then I'll report my experiences and thoughts about them, and maybe give my personal ranking or tier list for how they perform as sleep aids. I have to see where this goes since I don't usually sleep to music or noise intentionally. Brightness, loudness, movement, and heat are usually the problems for me, not silence. Keep in mind this experiment is casual and for fun. It's a very informal experiment for a whole mess of reasons. First off, I'm just a single data point in the control group and the experiment group. I'm comparing my normal sleep data to my sleep data with each of these sounds. Second, I don't know many people who actually play this game, and of the ones I do, they aren't in a position to use this function. Third, I share a bed with my partner. As supportive and morbidly interested as she is to also participate, she already has too many sleep problems for me to subject her to this nonsense for nearly 2 weeks, so I'm sleeping in the daybed in my home office. Fourth, even though I find the daybed in my home office really comfortable, that's arguably another variable. Honestly, it's so comfy I don't nap there anymore because I will just sleep. Fifth, and probably most important, I do IT cybersecurity and management for like 60 hours a week. Sleep quality is really important, so if the relaxing sound is actually bad enough, I'm turning it off early so I can sleep. YouTube is a fun side hobby, but almost 2 weeks of potentially horrible sleep is not worth risking a unicorn job, especially in this job market. As of the current date that I'm recording the results of this small experiment, there are 11 relaxing sounds available in Pokémon Sleep. They add them very slowly, so now that they just added one for the Latios and Latias event, I'm probably safe to run the test without worrying about instantly needing to make changes. I'll be following the order that they appear in the menu to make things easier. Lastly, I don't know if YouTube is actually going to let me use snippets of the audio, so if I have to cut out the music, I'll just link you to the OST on YouTube. For now, it looks like the channel Togepi1125 has the whole OST up, and if that channel gets taken down for some reason, I'll update that in the pinned comment or the video description. Night 1, Pokémon Center. This is a music box loop of the original Pokémon Center theme slowed down to be double the length, so from a 30-second loop into a 1-minute long loop. It's a good time to mention that all of the tracks appear to be perfect loops, which is excellent. Bad loops would tank the rating of a track because that would be annoying and jarring. No one wants to be trying to sleep only to hear music stop, then start, then stop, then start. See how annoying that is? Back to this specific track, the slow music box style is thematically fitting for a lullaby. The Pokémon Center melody is nice and steady, the notes climb up and down the scale slowly. The range isn't too drastic, all the melody notes are contained within a range of 9 notes. When played as slow as it is, the arpeggiated chords fill the gaps gently. The original is in the key of D, and they bring it up to the key of F. I don't know enough about music theory to know if transposing the melody functionally matters or was a composer's personal choice in this specific case, but they did. When I first heard this track awake, my first impression was that it was a wonderful arrangement, but I personally couldn't fall asleep to this. In practice, it wasn't much different than I expected. I think the issue is a problem with the dynamics of the track. The chimes used for this track, or whatever effect is on it, is just too harsh for me. Every chime of the melody is a huge volume spike, and for it to be tolerable, I had to turn the volume way down. At that point, I can't hear the accompaniment, which is the peaceful part of the track. It's unfortunate. 95% great, but that last 5% makes it useless to me. I'm either kept awake or turning it down to a point where it's debatable if it actually counts as sleeping to the track. The problem definitely isn't the music box style. I've only owned and fallen asleep to music boxes or music box styled music, I looked up a music box rendition of the Pokemon Center on YouTube. The first result was way more mellow, even considering that the speed is right between the original and the Pokemon Sleep version. It's from the channel R3 Music Box from 7 years ago. Give it a listen if you want. It's unfortunate. This track and much of the Pokemon Sleep OST is great. If this was a track in the context of a Pokemon movie or a Pokemon game, I wouldn't give it a second thought as a music box that the character falls asleep to. It's a cute reference and it would be an amazing and fitting atmosphere for the scene. It just doesn't work for me personally, but I could see it working for other people, especially with some adjustments. Night 2, Pikachu Lullaby 1. This track is Pikachu softly singing a lullaby with no accompaniment. It's Mozart, so an actual real-world piece, not an original Pokemon composition. The melody is from Eine kleine Nachtmusik, something I'm only familiar with from violin lessons, so I don't have any more lore for you. This one I distinctly remember from the first time I tried out the game and immediately knew I was never going to be able to use it. I've experienced Pokemon media for my entire life, and never has there been a point where I had to actively acknowledge that there is a Japanese woman speaking into the microphone. Obviously, I know voice actors exist, and when you hear the same ones over and over, it can break immersion. However, this is completely different. Listening to this during the day just to form a starting impression, I'm hearing the person. Listening at night to try to sleep to this, I can hear so much more. I can hear her humanity. I can hear what she had for breakfast and the drink she washed it down with. I can hear her eyes following the script and her synapses firing to remember the notes. Now, I might be biased. I was a very sleepy baby, so my parents did not need to sing me lullabies. Maybe if I were sang lullabies in the past or listened to ASMR content, this could do it for me. I genuinely tried, but it actively kept me awake. I felt like I had a person trapped in there being forced to sing to me, and I didn't like it. If I heard this out in the woods at night, I'd think it was some horrible Appalachian creature making a bad attempt to get a response. Overall, this is not it for me. Night 3, Pikachu Lullaby 2. This is an alternate Pikachu lullaby added later on, and it's personally worse. I already knew I wouldn't like these. Just the night before, it completely failed, even though it was based on a piece I like. I had to give up on this track, but I realized that it might be more serviceable with some kind of accompaniment in the background. It just feels closer to someone whispering in my ear loudly than a lullaby. Like someone whisper talking loudly all night in a way that's somehow more annoying than just talking outright. I don't like when people keep trying to talk to me when I'm obviously sleeping or dozing off in a harmless situation. If someone looks sleepy, leave them alone. Don't keep asking them if they're asleep, telling them to get into bed or to move. I get that some people do need the encouragement to sleep in a way that works for them, and they're trying to accommodate for that. I candidly tell people, if I'm falling asleep, I'm comfy where I am, don't bother me at all, and they still bother me. Like, bro, leave me alone. I know I can sleep in the bed I paid for in the house I live in. I know other people have this problem. I've had people, both men and women, thank me for leaving them alone when they pass out or stopping other people from bothering them with stupid questions when they pass out. Back to this track, it isn't for me, but I do wonder if background music would help it. Night 4, Jigglypuff's Song. It's meant to be a soothing arrangement based on Jigglypuff's iconic song. This is an awesome arrangement. I like the instrumentation. It's faster than the original, and it only does the A section of the song, but it still works. The sound mixing and dynamics are so much better than the Pokemon Center one. The speed, the phrasing, and the way they do the chord progression makes it feel less like a lullaby and more like it's supposed to be for a production. I could picture this as the theme of a Jigglypuff in a Pokemon short or the credits for that short. Maybe a short photo slideshow. This could be a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon cutscene for some flashback of when Guildmaster Wigglytuff had some life-changing experience as a Jigglypuff, like founding the guild. This sounds like a Jigglypuff-themed reunion, graduation, or wedding theme. Yeah, if a couple loved Pokemon enough to have it in their wedding, this might be the track for walking down the aisle. Wait, I'm actually cooking. Surely there could be at least one couple in the world that's really into Pokemon, specifically Jigglypuff. Then they could have a bunch of pink everywhere, the balloons could all be pink and round like the species, have flowers like flower gift macarons for the party, and then cut into a giant Jigglypuff's fruity flan to cap the celebration. I'd go to a wedding like that in a heartbeat. It would be pretty unique. Back to the topic, it's still pretty exciting and brisk, but I can see how this could still work as a sleep aid. I was able to fall asleep to it and stay asleep, so we finally have something that wasn't instantly a failure. Since this is the one and only success so far, I may have to revisit and adjust the ranking for this later. Overall, this is pretty good, and I can understand if results vary for people. I'd be curious to see what it would be like if it was slower or extended to have more of the full Jigglypuff song. Night 5. Poké Flute. The small melody of the Poké Flute has been extended to a lullaby with the proper backing. I really like this one too. It's a good arrangement in general of the Poké Flute, but like the Jigglypuff song arrangement, it sounds like more than a lullaby. It's got enough energy in there that it could still be applied to credits, a heartfelt or sentimental scene, a photo slideshow, a wedding, or something. It's the way the music has multiple swells with the cymbals and chimes. It's potentially going to be really disruptive to some, especially after a spike. It does get quiet or loud fast. It's luckily not like Pokemon Center, which was loud on every note. I had to turn this down a little, but it was still something I could sleep to and stay asleep to. I'd rank this a little under Jigglypuff's song for now, but not by much. Night 6. Game Sync. This is the theme of Game Sync from the Pokemon Black and White era games. First off, it's Gen 5 music, so you already know this was the point in time when they were having fun with their new drum kits and synth basses. This arrangement added the ethereal, dreamy vibes that they had in the other Pokemon Dream World menu music. It makes me think of a slower version of some of the tracks from Ape Escape 1, whatever genre that is. I've heard people call it house music, but I'm not the person to ask about that. It's a simple and short theme without too many musical ideas, but that works fine because we don't want something too busy or interesting that will keep us awake. The waves of chimes might be distracting or act as noise spikes that could wake people up. I remember it being the only one early on that seemed possible for me to sleep with. In practice, I fell asleep pretty quickly and stayed asleep. It still sounds like a menu theme or a title screen theme, and that's calm enough for a sleep aid. This one passes, and I'd rank it at the top for now because I would actually easily recommend it to someone else if I had to. Night 7. Soaring Illusions. This is the theme of Soaring with Latios or Latias in Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire, but it's a music box. This one is the newest as of this video's production, and the one I was referring to before about the recent Latios and Latias event. The music box here is still causing the same problems for me as the Pokemon Center one. It's less shrill than that one, and to be fair, it's almost the 3rd anniversary of the game's release, so it's natural that the sound quality got better. The sound is more even, so I could turn down the music and still hear the background of the music. It's just way too shrill for me to sleep with. I couldn't fall asleep. I guess I really don't like their music box or music box effect. It's such a shame. I really like the actual song itself. They did an amazing job with the whole Latias and Latios event too. The imagery, the many arrangements of music from the games, and even the Pokemon Heroes movie. I'm probably going to have to talk about the actual Pokémon Sleep OST in another video, after I figure out a way to play them without it getting claimed, but the music is so good. For those of you young enough to be unfamiliar with the song I'm talking about, you can click the card in the top right. I'm sure that some people out there can sleep to this music box version, but I kept almost falling asleep, then waking up before actually falling asleep. It really is a shame, but I gotta give it a fail for me. Still better than Pokemon Center though. Night 8. A Stroll Through the South Province. This track is a calm and acoustic rendition of the theme that plays in the South Province of Paldea. Nice acoustic guitar and some casual bongos or some kind of drum. Paldea had a bunch of great tracks by Toby Fox, and the person who arranged this version for Pokemon Sleep understood the assignment. It matched with my first impression and did not interfere with falling asleep or keeping me asleep. This is right up there at the top with Game Sync as a great acoustic alternative to the electronic track in this tier. Night 9. Campfire. I was surprised to find out that this was not just a campfire. It's got acoustic guitar with crackling fire ambience in the background. I don't know what it's a reference to. It sounds a lot like the first couple of seconds from Nuvema Town from Generation 5, but it could be any track from those games or a night track from Alola or some recent game. I can't tell if I recognize it or if it's just me hallucinating that I've heard it before. I like it a lot as a proper musical piece. There are some parts that are dynamic and energetic, but overall I slept easily to this one. This is up in the same tier as Jigglypuff's song and Poké Flute. Night 10. Waves. At first, it sounded like it was just going to be ocean waves ambience. Then the beat drop. This music goes so ridiculously hard that this had to have been a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon composer. This had to be a track that didn't make it into Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, so they repurposed it from the vault for this game. I like how all the percussion and melody sound like they are played with various objects filled with water, like a castaway using washed up recyclables and junk to make music, as if Cyan Beach and Tau Paulo were originally a single coastal cave that was going to be water, rock, and poison or steel. That's not an actual theory I'm making, it just sounds like it could have been an actual area theme instead of a theme to sleep with. Words don't do it justice. Go and listen to the track. As for being a sleep aid, I couldn't fall asleep to it and stay asleep. First off, it's too hype and hits too hard. I feel like I should be looking for the stairs to the next floor, not sleeping. The other issue is that the loop kept waking me up. The piece ends on a really intense part, rapidly quiets down, then tries to slowly build up again. For an area theme or a stage theme, this is a perfectly fine loop, but it was too much of a difference in energy to ignore when trying to sleep. For me, this is a fail, since I had to turn it off entirely. I do want to point out that this track almost succeeded, which is impressive considering that it is not a traditional lullaby or music box like the other tracks that failed. Makes me wonder if the last track has some leaf rustling to complete this fire, water, grass music trio. Night 11, Forest. I jinxed it. It's another music box track. It's really unfortunate. I don't recognize this. If it's a reference to another Pokemon song, I don't know which. I like it a lot as a musical piece though. Sounds like something from a Studio Ghibli production, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, or like a peaceful area from Nier Automata. I definitely hear the forest theme vibe, but the melody has the same problem as the other music box ones where I just find it too harsh to sleep to. If this was just an area theme or a pause menu theme or a title theme in some JRPG I was playing, I'd have no problem here. The thing that kills me is that the background accompaniment music box notes are perfect to me. If the main melody used the same music box or music box effect as the backing, then there wouldn't be a problem here for me. I can also hear that there is a xylophone or glockenspiel or something playing the main melody along with the main music box chime at a higher pitch, and that part isn't a problem for me either. It's a fail for me. I just can't sleep to the lead music box sound they keep using for these. Maybe if they used the mellow music box, which I now know they have, in a future track, I'd rank that one more positively. This one, I'm ranking just under the Waves track. Here is my final personal ranking. 5 passing, 6 failing. In the absolute lowest tier are the 2 Pikachu lullabies. They are a cute idea, but I can't have a lady singing a 30-second lullaby to me for 8 hours with no background track. That's assuming the background track even improves it for me. Next are the other 4 tracks that failed for me personally, but with light tweaks I could potentially have ranked them higher. The music boxes are the lowest within this tier because I now know that they had a better music box around. Waves is higher up in this tier because it performed well despite being a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon stage theme, and if that loop were a little smoother, I might have stayed asleep to it. Jigglypuff's song, Poké Flute, and Campfire are next in the good tier. Excellent arrangements, they get the job done, and I can easily see if these are the favorite relaxing sounds for many people. Not much else to say that I haven't already said. Solid options. Finally, the top tier, Game Sync and A Stroll Through Paldea. 2 tracks that captured 2 of the vibes I often hear for sleep aids on CDs or on YouTube. I think they do a great job, and they're my personal favorites. Dreamy electronic music with ethereal synths and beats. Chill acoustic music by a campfire. Actually, it sounds like the indie campfire music I heard in Cassette Beasts. I recommend that game a lot, and I'm excited for the sequel, by the way. Back to the 2 tracks, I slept pretty fast and well. This was a long one, not in the video length sense, but more in the sense that it took almost 2 weeks just to sleep to test each of the themes before doing any recording or editing. I also felt oddly divorced. Think of it from my perspective. Have a good night, honey. I'm gonna sleep in my office and listen to Pikachu Lullaby ASMR for 8 hours. It has been interesting since I never used the function and probably never would have if not for this testing. I'm still not going to use it because I don't need to, but if more songs release, I wouldn't mind testing the new ones if people were interested in that. What are your experiences with these tracks? Do you think you'd fall asleep or stay asleep to these tracks? Let me know your answer to that in the comments. That's all I've got. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you some other time. Bye.